For more on those episodes, as well as the ones we saw last night, here's someone heavily featured in the documentary. Welcome back to The Jump. I am so thrilled to be joined by, the Hall of Famer, the great Michael Wilbon. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Rachel.
So much great stuff in last night's episodes, but one of the biggest overall themes was Michael ascending to this almost mythic, godlike place in American culture, and then the cost of having reached that point. What did you learn in real time, in real life, when you were watching him go through both the rise and then the price of that rise?
Well, the first thing I think you just observe, Rachel, is that Michael Jordan, more or less, and I don't know who was in between, but he more or less replaced Muhammad Ali as the most famous man on the planet. So that was the first observation. And the second one, which is almost automatically attendant, is, everybody's watching. It is not just sports people. The world is watching, and they're going to make something of everything. And I don't know that anybody can be prepared for that. I remember some of the quote-unquote missteps, perhaps, that Muhammad Ali made or people thought he made. And Michael, obviously, was going to Atlantic City during that Knicks series.
Yep.
I don't think anybody was prepared for the fallout and the reaction to that.
Well, I do want to ask you about gambling because, Wilbon, I can remember a couple times you and I sat and watched Michael play cards together. And I am sure I only got to see 1%, Wilbon, of what you saw. So do you think he has or had a gambling problem?
I don't know about problem. I don't gamble at all, at all. So I don't know what problem is. And I never sought to make that distinction or determination. I didn't feel the need to make that judgment. He liked to gamble. Not alone. All you got to do is go to Vegas or Atlantic City. Or now, wait a minute. Since Michael Jordan's gambling problem,
right,
the entire United States of America every state has sought to enter into gambling at the highest level with all of the great casinos of our time. So who's got a gambling problem? Does all of America have one? I don't know. A legitimate question, but I just never sought to judge in that way.
The Dream Team is covered in these episodes. MJ insists here he never specifically said Isiah Thomas can't be on the team. Why do you think Isiah wasn't on that team?
Well, he didn't have to. Isiah was the face of a great and polarizing team. My best guess would be, having covered the team and having been there, I'm going to say 9 of those guys just were not in favor of hanging out with Isiah Thomas at that time. And that's what that summer was, Rach. It was a big hangout. It was like summer camp. They knew who they wanted to spend the summer with, and they knew who they didn't want to spend the summer with. And the hang down on Michael Jordan is just inaccurate. Michael didn't have to get Isiah off the Dream Team. He wasn't on it. Was Isiah Thomas in their class as a player? Oh my God, yes. But that group of people, I'm gonna say 9 out of 12, they made it known to whomever that this wasn't somebody they wanted in their summer camp. And I know it causes Isiah pain now. I know it does. And those guys will say, well, he brought it on himself, right? I mean, so the notion that it was just Michael Jordan stopping, inaccurate, historically inaccurate.
Well, in last night's episode, they also covered the politics angle. And I got to be honest, it's the first time I have ever heard Michael publicly acknowledge he did indeed say the line, quote, Republicans wear sneakers too. It's been brought up so many times over the years, people criticizing MJ for not being political, saying he sold out so he could, sell more shoes. How do you see Jordan's lack of engagement on politics or social issues?
Well, it's funny, Rachel, this discussion has so many cycles. When we talk about Michael selling out, I remember thinking at times, okay, he's not doing enough. And I remember thinking at times in my own life, he sold out to the tune of $100 million a year with just Nike, just his shoe sales. So how many black billionaires do we have in the United States of America now? As that becomes an important distinction, an important achievement, accomplishment, a light to shine that children can see this and say, yep, this guy has done. Is that not worthy? I'm sorry. I'm going to tell anybody who tells me that's not worthy to go to hell. That's just my personal opinion. Could he have done that and also been outspoken? I guess I guess he could have. He chose not to. And last I checked, that's his right as an American citizen as well.
This documentary also highlights the toll it took on MJ to win those 3 titles in a row, all the stuff we've been talking about. And of course, as we know, he ended up stepping away after the first repeat. What do you think would have happened if he had just played basketball straight through the 90s? Would the Bulls have won 8? Would they only have won 6 of 8, but just in a different order or way? Would they won 10? What do you think?
I have said to him, if you stay, does burnout reduce you and the Bulls, in those 94,
in 97,
95.
98. If he stayed in 94, 95, right?
I get the eyebrow. I get the Bugs Bunny eyebrow. Like, are you on drugs? Are you stupid? And it's interesting. I still believe there was a burnout, which is okay. But I don't think Michael's ever used that word. And I think it's met with, like, Dikembe. Like, no, I'm going to smack that. But I really would have liked to have seen 99. It's the 7th. It's the attempt at 7 that didn't come about, that angered everybody, including me.
Well, we were around when he tried to come back for the 3rd time in D.C. We saw how that worked out, maybe a few years too late. Wilbon, thank you so much for doing this. There's no one better to talk to about this.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks so much for being here.
Good to see you. Stay safe.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.